was always mechanical. You know, growing up on a farm, I learned how to weld when I was 12 years old, learned how to run a lathe when I was 15. I was rebuilding Chevy engines by the time I was 18, so I was always a nut and bolt guy, you know. Even today, I more or less refer to myself as a professional mechanic instead of a vice president of a corporation. You know, I still like mechanical things and working with my hands. Since I came from the shop floor and worked my way up, one of the things is, everybody needs to understand that, you can do anything you want to do, whatever you set your mind to. I like working on the shop floor. I mean, when I go into a plant, I talk to the people that are on the floor. I've always sort of believed that you can't really understand something until you've actually experienced it. A gentleman by the name of Jim Franklin said, hey, I want you to join a society. It's called SPE, Society of Plastics Engineers. Had a very good friend at Dow Chemical, a gentleman by the name of Earl Veazey, who started encouraging me to become involved in the extrusion division and actually helped me write my first technical paper. He actually critiqued my first technical paper on sheet extrusion, and I presented it that year for the first time. I think it was in 1989 at Montreal. First part where I really got involved was in the leadership part of SPE. I started out getting asked to sit on a technical review board where we review the technical papers for Antec every year. Sat on that committee for the extrusion division for like 13 years, and I still am more or less on the advisory side of that. I just love to go out and teach people. I feel one of the things, like even in my business every day to day, the smarter I make my customer, the easier my job becomes. And I think if I can teach people things about SPE, and things like that, if I can teach them, what SPE can bring to them, that this is a place of information, that they can go here. I got 30 plus years watching industry change, and it's all going more and more to lean, faster, quicker. You gotta, and we at Exloy, we live and die on lean. We look at constantly improving. Same thing goes with SPE. I think that we have to be flexible. We have to be able to move quickly. We have to be able to address the industry for information in a more flexible manner, in a quick manner, so we get this information out. We've communicated to the people. Now we need to go out and get them to get involved. We need to find the people in the different areas and the different sections we have around to get them to be committed to supporting SPE and to get them to be more involved in the governments. Because we need to have feedback. Like this year we brought on Ken Brainey from Great Britain to give us that flavor, the European flavor on the board. We need more of that internationally as we go forward. SPE, the last couple of years we've really focused on looking at how the market and how the business is changing internationally. And SPE in the past has been mainly North American focused. It's a different industry, it's a different world today. I remember as a kid, that if the parts weren't made in the US by some US company, that they were looked down on. I mean, some of the greatest technology is coming out of the the Pacific Rim and that, so we can't, just because industry has moved internationally, I think, that's why SPE has to move internationally. Get involved, see where you can contribute, put your name on the industry somehow. Who says that, if somebody had asked me 25 years ago that I was going to be the president of SPE, I told him, this dumb farm boy from Volant, Pennsylvania, there is no way. But here I am, 52 years old, had the opportunity to be one of the few people who've ever had the opportunity, the privilege, to be the president of SPE. So I just say, get involved and see what you can do. Help out. That's it.